Now I've already got this card reader plugged into my USB port. After flashing the system, we need to insert this TF card into the card slot. After inserting it into the slot, we need to do this here. First power it on. Then connect my keyboard to the reserved OTG port right here. Next, carefully plug in our HDMI data cable into its corresponding port. Finally, use the OBS software to capture and record the screen output. Next, I'll connect the accessories. Here I've already connected the HDMI cable, and with the screen capture device I can input it into OBS. I've also connected a keyboard via OTG because with the system I flashed, I've tested several times and couldn't connect to Wi-Fi, so I'm using a keyboard and monitor to control our terminal. This is the power supply. I've already enabled capture in OBS here, so as soon as I power it on, this screen will display the system's signal in real time. Next, let's power it on and give it a try. The power is already connected. After connecting the power, the signal has already come through. Now, the Raspberry Pi system is booting up for the first time. Of course, this is its window, and here Cordala's dual screens are being displayed. After flashing the system, it restarts a second time. It then runs the full system. I've seen this many times. It always checks your configuration and your Wi-Fi. Everything else is fine, but as for the network, it only shows a 127.0.1 network address and doesn't connect to the Wi-Fi I set up. Neither pre-configuring the system with the official software nor using a config file works. So I had no choice but to buy an OTG adapter to connect a keyboard. I don't know yet if this keyboard will work. It's still initializing here. It's checking the file system. Still waiting. The very first boot process might take a little bit longer than you expect, but the second and third times you start up should definitely be noticeably better. The system is restarting here. This is already the second restart. I don't know if this system can utilize the full 120 gigabytes of the disk. Previously, when I installed Ubuntu on a Raspberry Pi, it only used half of the disk space and the other half was left unused. It's setting up the network here. As you can see, it hasn't assigned us an IPv4 address. When it finally finishes booting up, it only shows a 127.x loopback address. Again, it's checking the network. At this point, the system has already started up successfully. You can see its address is 127.0.1. This means it hasn't connected to Wi-Fi at all. I also didn't see an assigned IP address in the router's backend. Here, I can only try to log in using the keyboard. You can see my keyboard here. This is the screen of my Zerow. I've already logged in and then used the keyboard to enter numbers. 1, 2, 3. I've already logged in here, so next I'm going to try using my keyboard in the terminal to check why it hasn't connected to my Wi-Fi. And also to check its model to see if it's actually a W version and why it can't connect to Wi-Fi. After finding out, I'll manually configure our Wi-Fi file to make sure it can connect to the 2.4 G band at home. That way I can download Docker, then set up ESP Home at home and have our sensors connect through our Wi-Fi. Alright, that's it for today's video.